Hello, everybody out there. I hope you guys are having a good day. So, I got a real fun and easy painting today using a straw and Q-tips. Um, so, I have a cold press watercolor paper taped down to my board, and right now, what I'm doing is I'm mixing a good quantity of sepia. Because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making trees using a straw. So I'm mixing a good quantity of that in my palette before I go ahead and start doing the trees. I also got a big bundle of Q-tips, and there's my straw. And colors I'm going to be using today is phthalo blue, Hansa, yellow light, permanent rose, and some champagne gold. So what I'm doing right there is I'm just taking my brush, and I'm putting a good amount of sepia down, mixed a little bit with the permanent rose, and then I'm taking my straw and I'm blowing the paint around. Basically, I blew it up and then I'm blowing it sideways to create the branches. Um, it I've been I've done this quite a bit, so it's probably good to practice before you do it because you can create a bunch of different types of shapes doing this, depending on where you put the paint and how much paint you have, if it's watery, if it's thicker. I use probably like between a milky and a tea consistency of paint. But I just find this technique fun to do, and it creates such interesting shapes. I mean, you can use those shapes for a lot of different things in your paintings, not just trees, of course. Um, I've used them for trees and branches and stuff like that. I've used them for under, like, seascapes, like seaweed. I've used them for my seahorses, which I will be doing a video on that, some more seahorses using this method. So there's the three trees, and then I'm taking my Q-tip and I dipped it in some water and I mixed a mixture of the phthalo blue and the Hansa lemon light. And I'm just dipping my Q-tip in the mixture and just dotting it on the trees, kind of just how leaves would be. And I'm mixing the colors up. As you can see, I'm using some sepia also in there. Just kind of creating, whatever you want, really. I mean, this is like just a fun project, nothing, like a masterpiece or anything, but I just like the things that you can create with it because every one that you do is different. And it's just something that is an easy project, and you don't have to concentrate too hard, and you can just have fun with it, which is nice. So I'm just kind of mixing up my colors. I'm using the yellow more on the top because that's where the trees would be lighter. You could do this with a bunch, any colors you really want. I was just using those colors to for this one because I just like all those colors together. I mean, you can use fall colors. You could do more of a spring, like blooms, like maybe cherry blossoms or something like that. But I did decide to mix a little bit of the permanent rose in there just to kind of give a little bit more of color. And then I took my spray bottle and sprayed the top of the trees just to kind of give it a little bit more of a softness so the paint would move around a little bit more on the top. And then I took my brush with some water and I'm putting just water on the bottom there, getting that paint to flow on the bottom. Kind of giving it a little bit of a softness there. And then I'm taking my sepia. I took my sepia and added more paint to the right side of the trees just to darken it up, give a little bit more contrast. These type of paintings to me are relaxing. I just enjoy it. It's kind of got like a, I don't know, otherworldly look too. Then I added a little bit of salt on the bottom, and then I wanted to add some sprinkles to it, so I dipped my fan brush in some yellow and blue, kind of make a green, bright green colors, and kind of just dipped it in the paint and added some to the bottom there of the trees. I mean, there's so much you could do with these to make them your own, you know, at whatever colors you like, and just experiment. And then I took my champagne gold. I wanted just to add a little touch of gold. Since we were going on the circle dot theme, I took my thin brush there and just dotted it into the champagne gold and added those gold dots to the ends of the branches. You know, you could use a gel pen. I thought that would be cute. You could do little, you know, lots of stuff. You could do little like swirls. You can do all kinds of different types of doodles. Lots of times I like to doodle on the trunks, you know, add kind of swirls and different details, but I thought I'm just going to leave these this time and don't go too crazy with the details. I think these would be pretty for like fall colors, like fall leaves. You could do reds and oranges. Okay, and there it is, all done. A super easy thing to do and make a cute card. Kind of like an abstract-y look. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you can. That'd be awesome. And you guys have a good weekend. And thank you so much for watching.